It was a hard old law in the old days, especially if you had the misfortune to come before a hanging judge. There was a famous hanging judge in Dublin at the end of the 1700s, called Lord Norbury. Now, Lord Norbury would be very quick to hang a fellow if he got half a chance. One time, after condemning a man to be hung for the theft of a watch, he couldn't resist a little joke. So he said, "Aha, you rascal, you reached for time and grasped eternity." Another time, Lord Norbury had sentenced a fellow to be flogged. He said, "I sentence you to be flogged from the custom house to the opposite quay." The man shouted, "Thanks, Lord Norbury, you've done your worst." And back again. Now, you see, for a man to be flogged from the custom house to the opposite quay was a severe punishment, but to be flogged there and back again meant almost certain death. One of the well-known lawyers, who used to appear before Lord Norbury often enough, was Mr. John Philpot Curran. The story is told that one night there was a dinner at the Viceregal Lodge up in the Phoenix Park, and Lord Norbury and Mr. Curran were seated together at the table, and as a dish of meat was passed around, Lord Norbury asked, "Is this hung beef, Mr. Curran?" To which Mr. Curran replied, "No, your lordship hasn't tried it yet." However, Mr. John Philpot Curran had more to be concerned about when the Robert Emmet case came up. Young Robert Emmet was a romantic young man who was stirred by the French Revolution and decided to raise a rebellion in Dublin. He was going to lead a band of men to seize Dublin Castle, which was the centre of English rule in Ireland, and to proclaim a republic. However, the plan never really came off, because the bold Robert Emmet, though he had his heart in the right place, wasn't much of a strategist. The attack on the castle failed, mainly, it was said, because most of the fellas that were supposed to be involved in it had already adjourned to local hostelries, and so missed the signal for the attack. Well, the bold Robert Emmet fled into Wicklow, pursued by the Redcoats, and eventually was arrested. And then Mr. Curran was in a bit of a pickle, because his daughter, Miss Sarah Curran, was the fiancée of Robert Emmet. Well, when Robert Emmet came to trial, it was before Lord Norbury, and he showed himself a very courageous young man indeed. He made a famous speech from the dock in which he said that no man should write his epitaph till Ireland was free. In the end, of course, he was found guilty of high treason. Lord Norbury put on the black cap, as he had often done before, and sentenced Robert Emmet to be hung, drawn and quartered. And having done so, the redoubtable hanging judge broke down and wept.